Hi, I'm Wendy, and today I'm going to give you some tips on how to handle difficult and challenging Q&A questions gracefully. Now, have you ever, as a presenter, been stumped with a question, it's come your way and you have no idea how to answer it? Or maybe you can feel the tension rising in the room, things are getting a little bit heated, and you really need to get some control back of the situation. So how can you do this? I'm going to give you 3 quick tips. I've actually written a much longer blog article about this and given some examples. I'm not going to do that in this video. I'll just give you 3 quick tips, and if you want to read a little bit more, check out my blog article. So the first tip is all about staying calm and composed. You want to maintain a very calm and composed demeanour, regardless of the tone or the nature of the difficult questions. So don't drop your tone and your standards to the level of the question that's being asked. All eyes will be on you, and people will be watching you to see how you're going to handle this. So it's very important that you stay calm, composed, and professional. The second tip is to acknowledge the question respectfully. So begin your response by acknowledging the difficulty of the question. And I've given some examples of that in my blog article. The other thing you can do is show appreciation for the questioner's perspective. So don't dismiss it outright. Don't start getting head up and annoyed about it. Express that you understand the importance. You may not understand them. That can be a dangerous minefield to say that, yeah, I understand you. I know where you're coming from, because you may not. But you can say that you understand the importance of the question that's being raised. And I'll give some examples of that in my blog. The third tip is to try to redirect or reframe the question. If the question is particularly challenging, it is outside your scope of knowledge, and even outside the scope of the discussion, then you could consider reframing it or redirecting it to somebody. Perhaps you are with a panel, you may be with other people who would be better placed to answer that question. In my article, I'll give some examples of how you can do that. Remember, transparency, respect, and a composed demeanour are the key to handling those very difficult and challenging questions that arise during a Q&A. It is okay to admit that you don't know the answer, and far better to admit that than to try to bluff your way through it, because you'll probably get caught out. You can say that you're willing to follow that through to provide additional information when you have that. This approach helps maintain credibility and fosters a much more positive atmosphere during these difficult Q&A times.